There you are at last. I've been waiting here for hours. Just a moment. You're not a merchant from town, are you? Where is Baltram?
Who are you?
I don't see how that's any of your business. But if you must know, my name is Skip. Does that ring a bell?
Who?
Are you telling me you've never heard of Skip? Holy shit! Where do you live? I'm one of Corinus's most wanted criminals. Me and my boys have been the scourge of the waters around this crummy island for years. Come on, you must have heard of me.
But of course, it's all coming back to me now.
Honestly, you've really heard of me before? Oh shit! And I had been thinking of strolling into town. Good thing I didn't. The militia would have put me in the slammer right away.
Baltram, you're waiting for a merchant?
Smart kid, aren't you? That's what I just said, isn't it? That good-for-nothing junk merchant seems to have forgotten me. If only I could get my hands on him.
Where do you come from?
You want to know where our hideout is? If I tell you that, I might as well invite the militia to arrest me. And in case you would like to pay us a visit, it wouldn't help you in the least. The island of Corinus is large, and no one ever gets to where we are anyway, unless they have a cog or some other ship. And then you'd have to find your way through the cliffs as well. Nobody gets through there unless they know the secret path. There are only 2 people who know the path, and you're not one of them.
A lot of citizens are missing, and everything seems to indicate that you're not quite innocent in the matter.
Damn it. It's not what you think it is. Do I look like a slave trader to you? No, I only transport goods. What they are and where they come from is no concern of mine. We have shipped all kinds of things for those swine. First, it was just regular stuff. Well, sometimes it may have been contraband. But then they started to kidnap the inhabitants of the city. No idea what they're planning to do with them. All we did was ferry them across.
Who are you talking about?
The bandits, of course. Who else? The filthy scum who are making themselves at home all over the island. And not just here, around Corinus.
Just bandits isn't good for me. I want a name.
A name? You want to know who's leading the bandits? Damn it! What was that bastard's name again? I just can't recall his name. Even if it wasn't all that complicated. But I can show you where to find the boss of the gang in this part of Corinus. Have you got a decent map?
Here, I've got a map of Corinus.
That's good. Let me draw in the hideout of this fellow. I remember his name now. Dexter. Yes, I think they called him Dexter. Here's your map.
Who said that?
Vatras sent me. He told me to come to you when I needed help.
So you've already been to see Vatras? You must have made a lasting impression on him. Otherwise, he certainly wouldn't have volunteered my name. Especially not since the matter with those missing people still hasn't been resolved. Tell me what you need.
Vatras gave me this ornament to bring to you. He said it is to be taken back.
Of course. It's up to me, as usual. I might have known. I'll have to walk halfway across the island to take it back to the water mages.
I can take the ornament there for you.
I think I'd better take it there myself. But you could come with me. Only, I can't leave here at the moment. I need to keep an eye on the harbor.
Where did you pick that up? That will only cause more trouble.
So what's your business with Vatras?
That would be a problem.
I've got this little agreement with the water mages, you see.
Let's wait and see what happens.
What kind of an agreement?
We work for them, and they see to it that our past in the penal colony doesn't get us into trouble.
You're talking about the Ring of Water?
You've heard of it?
Vatras told me about it.
You might have mentioned that right away.
Better watch out who you tell what. Nothing's ever going to change that.
I get so... wouldn't be so sure.
Who said that?
What exactly do you do here at the harbor?
I'm doing what we all do. I fulfill the tasks the water mages give me. Some of the missing people were fishermen. They disappeared along with their boats. That's why I'm standing here, watching the harbor. Maybe something will happen yet. But you could help me. Listen, I shall give you my aquamarine ring. It signifies that the bearer belongs to the Ring of Water. If you wear my ring, the rest of us will know that you're acting on my behalf. Get someone to take over my duties so that I can take the ornament back. One of us is always keeping an eye on the marketplace, but I don't know whose turn it is. You had better go talk to all those standing around there. Once the right man sees my aquamarine ring on you, he will let you know. Tell him to see to it that somebody else takes over here at the harbor.
Where did you pick that up?
I could have told you that.
I need your help.
And what exactly were you thinking of?
Got my own opinion on
I need some money.
Don't we all? Sorry, but I have none to give you. But Lamar, the moneylender, still owes me a favor. Go to him and borrow whatever money you need. I'll take care of the rest. You'll find Lamar in the harbor district, where it borders on the lower part of town.
Some problem solved themselves.
About those missing people. Tell me what you know.
The first was William. one of the fishermen here in Corinus. One day, he simply didn't return. At first, we thought that one of those sea monsters out there had eaten him in his boat for breakfast. But not too long afterwards, other people started disappearing from the town and the surroundings. Pretty random events, though. Everyone's at a loss so far. The way it looks, we'll just have to wait until we finally stumble across a clue.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
Isn't this a case for the militia?
The militia is pretty useless if you ask me. They're never going to clear this up. The missing people have vanished into thin air.
That's exactly what I said.
Tell me more about the Ring of Water.
The ring is to the water mages what the paladins are to the fire magicians. But, unlike the paladins, we operate in the background. The ring is a mighty weapon in the battle against the dangers that threaten the people of Corinus. But this only works as long as we keep the identity of all those secret who belong to the Ring of Water. So keep this to yourself.
Sure.
That's totally obvious. That'll only cause more trouble.
I want to join the Ring of Water.
That's fine with me. But the decision about whether you will be accepted or not lies with the water mages alone.
You didn't get that from me.
What did you do to impress the water mages?
I protected them for a long time when we were still living with the barrier. And they have plenty of reason to be grateful to me.
What's it like to belong to the Ring?
We are very different from the usual communities you can join here in Corinus. Once you're one of us, we're not going to ask anything of you that you are not ready to do. The only thing we truly require of you is to keep quiet.
Get that from me.
We work in secret and do not want to let outsiders know who our members are. We shall keep an eye on you. Everything else remains to be seen.
I see.
Do you really think?
Vatras said you could help me join a community.
Getting tired of being the underdog, are you? All right, I see your point. I can exert my influence with the mercenaries if you want to join Lee. And I'm sure we can find a way to get you into the monastery soon. But the easiest thing would certainly be for you to join the militia. Which community do you prefer?
Quite obvious.
The militia.
Yes, I can imagine you'd like that, eh? Read the law to other people while you're pocketing their purses. The paladins have set up their store by the harbor. Their provisions master is a good friend of mine. Maybe he can do something for you. His name is Martin.
You don't have to ask me that. I hardly know what to believe.
Tell me more about Lee and his mercenaries.
What do you want to know?
How do I find the landowner's farm?
It's quite simple. You leave the seaport by the east gate and then follow the path towards the east. I can take you there if you want.
Tell me more about the mercenaries.
Well, if you're as tough as you were back then, you shouldn't have any problems with them. Most of them are ruffians, and if you can't stand up to them, you won't get far.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
If you're squeamish, you don't have a chance of joining them.
Why aren't you with Lee and his mercenaries?
My own opinion.
But I am, just not on the farm. You could say I'm our outpost in the city. We don't want the ship to sail without us.
I don't know why he gets so worked up.
What ship were you talking about?
It's on the open sea harbor, behind the cliffs. Lee and a few of his people really want to get away from here. But that could take a while.
Why?
You'd better ask Lee about that. If you meet him, he's got plans.
But he knew that all along.
Teach me something.
Nobody ever asked for me.
You've already gotten more dexterous.
I could have told you that. Don't say you didn't know that. I wouldn't have done that. I don't believe this is going to change.
I used to say that myself. No idea.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
I used to say that myself.
You're a fisherman?
Now, how did you ever guess that? Can't you simply leave me alone? Don't take it personally, but I haven't been too happy lately. It's that militia.
Trouble with the militia?
Those bastards keep coming here and taking whatever they want. Last week, they made off with my entire catch. It's for a good cause, they said. I know that everybody's got to fend for himself since the farmers have stopped trading. And of course, sometimes people just go hungry. Small wonder that they're snatching the fish from right under my nose. But if they keep doing this, I won't even have enough to feed myself.
Have you talked to the paladins about this?
Are you joking? Do you really think they'd be interested if a poor devil like me has his problems with the militia?
Maybe I can help you.
I don't know. I suppose you'd have to know somebody from the militia who has connections to the paladins. The paladins will hardly buy the fish from me.
I shall see what I can do. Your buddy William has disappeared?
So he has. He's a fisherman, but a little too big for his boots, I should add. He should have stayed well away from that bunch.
When did you last see him?
Only a few days ago.
Maybe he just went out to sea to fish.
That's not very likely. His boat is still moored in the harbor.
What's he been up to?
William had some shady dealings with those crooks. I think it was all about contraband that he sold to the bastards.
He'll surface again.
I don't think so. He's been gone for too long already. I'm afraid that I'll be dragging his body to sea at some point.
What bastards would those be?
I don't know who they are or what their business is here in Corinthus. I only know the place where they met up with William. I just happened to see William there when I was fishing in the bay.
Where exactly is that meeting place?
There's a bay opposite the harbor, north of here. You can only reach it by boat or swim. There's a beach there and a small fishing camp. That's where I saw them.
I think I've heard enough.
Spare yourself the effort. I don't believe you'll find him.
Can you tell me something about the missing people?
My friend William started hanging out with a bunch of shady characters. And where did it get him? One day he simply didn't show up for work. And that's the last we saw of him.